and in today's one, it is Game Week 3 predictions for the 2022-2023 Sky Bet League 2 season. Before we do have a look at this week's fixtures and talk about the games and stuff like that, I will look at last week. Last week, I only managed to get myself 5 points in the Game Week prediction. I correctly predicted Gillingham 1, Rochdale 0, and I also got a correct result for Doncaster beating Sutton and Mansfield beating Tranmere. The top scorers from last week was joint with 10 points. That was Doug 8 Football Channel and Simon Ford. Doug correctly predicted Colchester 1, Carlisle 1, and also correctly predicted Northampton to draw away at Grimsby. Simon also predicted Colchester United 1, Carlisle United 1, and he also predicted Crawley Town 0, Leyton Orient 1. What does that do for the tables of the prediction? For the tables, Simon is currently leading the way on 19 points with 4 correct scores. Doug is in second on 14 points with 2 correct scores, and James is on 12 points with 3 correct scores. I currently sit on 10 points with 2 correct scores at the moment. Let's get into some predictions, and hopefully I do better this week than last week. First game of the game week in alphabetical order is AFC Wimbledon against Doncaster Rovers. Now, AFC Wimbledon have failed to beat Hartlepool in their last game, a 0-0 draw, where Doncaster Rovers managed in the 96th minute to beat Sutton United from 1-0 down. I am going to go for a Desmond in this one, though. I'm going to go AFC Wimbledon 1, Doncaster Rovers 1. I just think that Wimbledon back at home, I think they'll definitely score this week, unlike last week. And Doncaster, it may have taken it out of them after beating Sutton in dramatic style last Saturday. Wimbledon 1, Doncaster. Next game is at Valley Parade, and it is my boys Newport County travelling up to Yorkshire to take on the Bantams, Bradford City. Bradford City failed to win in their first 2, just like Newport, with a draw and a defeat for both sides. So both sides are going to want to get off to a fast start and try and kick-start their season. Both of us as well also beat championship opposition on Tuesday night in the Carabao Cup. Bradford knocking out Hull City 2-1 at the Valley Parade, and us beating Luton 3-2 at Kenilworth Road to both book our place into the next round. For this one, though, I'm going to go Bradford City 0, Newport County 1. I think we're going to snap. Next game is at Brunton Park. Sorry, not Prenton Park. That is Tranmere at Brunton Park between Carlisle United and Swindon Town. This one's going to be a very interesting one. Obviously, Harry McCurdy going back to his former team, Carlisle, with Swindon. I'm looking forward to it. I think we're going to get goals. I think we're going to get a little bit of drama as well. In this one, I'm going to go Carlisle United 1, Swindon Town 2. I think Carlisle will continue their unbeaten start to the League 2 season and make this 2 wins out of 3 with a draw involved. 2-1. Next game is Harrogate Town taking on Crawley. Both teams had mixed starts. Obviously, Crawley haven't won yet in League 2. Harrogate beating Swindon on the opening day 3-0, but failing to do that again, or failing to match a win against Crewe, losing 3-0. So when Harrogate are in games, there are goals involved in it. However, I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw. Harrogate Town 0, Crawley Town 0. Next one comes from London as Brisbane Road. Leyton Orient host the Stags, Mansfield Town. This is a very, very interesting one. Obviously, Mansfield losing to Derby in the Carabao Cup, with Leyton Orient losing to Forest Green. So both teams are out of that competition, which means all focus does turn to League 2, providing, apart from the Papa John's Trophy, but all serious attention turns to League 2 until November for these two. This is why I think this is going to be a cracking game. Leyton Orient 2, Mansfield Town 2. The next game sees the Cobblers, Northampton Town, take on Hartlepool United. Now, Hartlepool United still haven't scored yet this season. They lost 4-0 to Walsall on the opening day, drew 0-0 last week to AFC Wimbledon, and lost the other night, or lost yesterday against Blackburn Rovers 4-0 at Ewood Park, which I don't know what's wrong for. And in that game, Hartlepool looked very poor, very bad defensively, not much going forward. I'm going to go Northampton Town 3, Hartlepool United. The next game comes from Scotland as Rochdale take on the Mariners, Grimsby Town. And to be fair, Grimsby have had a very decent start to the League Two season. A very good point at home against Northampton last week, which they probably should have won. And they beat Crewe in the Carabao Cup to book a home tie against newly promoted to the Premier League Nottingham Forest. This one, though, I think is going to be an away victory. I don't see Rochdale as really anything good at the moment. 2 losses on the bounce for Rochdale, and I think that will continue for Dale. I'm going to go Rochdale 0, Grimsby Town 1. Next game sees 2 teams that were expected to start quite fastly in League 2 at the Peninsula Stadium. It's Salford City against Crewe Alexandra. Now, I've been really impressed with Crewe, apart from obviously the game that they just lost to Grimsby 4-0. I've been impressed with them in the league. Very good win away at Rochdale, and then beating Harrogate 3-0 at home is not, an easy thing to do after they beat Swindon 3-0. So a very good start from Crewe Alexandra this season. I got that to continue today, or for this game week as well. Salford City 1, Crewe Alexandra. The next game at Edgeley Park sees Stockport County take on Colchester United. Now this is a very interesting one as well, because Stockport were expected to, hit the league a light sort of thing, and they haven't won yet this season. 2 losses on the trot against Barrow and Stevenage. But this one, back on home soil, they've got a very favourable League Cup tie against Leicester City at home in the next couple of weeks. So I think that's going to get them bouncing for the next few home games, or the next few games in general. I'm going to go Stockport County 2, Colchester United. The next game is Sutton United taking on Barrow at Gander Green Lane. When I went to Sutton away on the first day of the season, they didn't really offer much in terms of chances, really. Sutton and Barrow have started very well. However, all saying that, I do still think Sutton at home are going to beat a lot of teams and going to get a lot of points at Gander Green Lane. It's a tough place to go. It's a horrible ground for an away team to go and visit. So I'm going to edge Sutton in this one. I'm going to go Sutton United 1, Barrow 0. This could be a slide for Barrow, or, they could continue this great. The ultimate game of the game week is Tranmere Rovers against Gillingham. 2 teams that I thought were going to be quite up there, and both of them have really not hit the heights as of yet that I expected them to hit. Again, back at Prenton Park for Tranmere on the opening day when they were at Prenton Park, they did lose 2-1 to Stevenage. So again, you want to get off to, you want to kick your season off with a bang, kickstart the season, and I think they're going to at least get points on the board in this one. Tranmere Rovers 1. The final game of this game week comes from Walsall, as Walsall take on Stevenage. Now, if you would have asked me this 4 weeks ago, I would have said 4-1 Walsall or 3-0 Walsall, but this game is completely different. Stevenage have had an absolutely electric start to the League 2 season. 2 wins from their opening 2, beating Reading in the Carabao Cup as well the other night. An unbelievable start to the season for Stevenage. Again, same for Walsall as well. But I am going to go for this one to be a Desmond Walsall 2 Stevenage. Those are my Game Week 3 predictions. I'll quickly run through them. Wimbledon 1, Doncaster 1, Bradford 0, Newport 1, Carlisle 2, Swindon 1, Harrogate 0, Crawley 0, Leyton Orient 2, Mansfield 2, Northampton 3, Hartlepool 1, Rochdale 0, Grimsby 1, Salford 1, Crewe 2, Stockport 2, Colchester 0, Sutton 1, Barrow 0, Tranmere 1, Gillingham 1, Walsall 2, Stevenage 2. Those are my Game Week predictions for Game Week 3. Please make sure to let me know your Game Week predictions in the comment section below. I know this is a premiere, but please do drop them in the actual in the actual comments, so I can easily get them onto the spreadsheet. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's just wish everyone good luck on their predictions.